What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Elite Encounters, the Pathfinder 2e live play show that uses some of the latest technology to give you guys a really good, high-quality content while still bringing that old-school vibe of playing at a table with hand-painted minis, in person. That's what really makes us special. First off, you're probably wondering why Patrick isn't in front of the camera and I'm sitting in the GM's seat. I'm in the hot seat because Patrick is out on vacation. He's celebrating his wife's birthday, so for those watching, yeah, good reminder, remind your special someone why they're special to you, or, you know, take a moment to give yourself some self-care, because that's really important, and Patrick's taking some time off to do that. I want to point out that we also have a different cast playing with us at the table, so this isn't normal Bloodlord setup. We've got Kayla, Nate, Kiva, and Jenny playing, and then of course we've got TJ and Mike back as the men behind the curtain. They're taking care of the lights and the camera so that we can focus on the action. So it's great to have those guys back there playing. I want to also shout out the Elite. That's everybody that supports us, subscribes, likes, follows on Twitch, on YouTube, and then also all of our other content platforms, whether that's Patreon with our monetary subscription tiers. We have 4 tiers that give some physical rewards. We also, you know, want to shout out everybody that's helping out with participation on our other content platforms, whether that's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're basically on all the platforms, and we really appreciate you guys' help when you like, follow, share, subscribe, etc. So thank you guys for doing that. That really helps us continue to push this content out to as many people as possible and continue making the stuff that we enjoy doing. I do want to point out that, speaking of you guys that participate and help out, Bloodlords usually has a participation model where we can either use 4,000 channel points to give a +2 on any D20 roll, and I want to stick with that. And also, if you want to spend 500 bits, cash those out, then you can give a reroll on any D20 roll. So that includes for the players if they have a really bad save, or for me, if I roll a crit on somebody and you want to cut that off because somebody's about to die, go ahead and cash in those bits, and we can take care of that. Tonight, we're playing Dawn of the Frogs. So I think it was like 4 months ago we played because we had a wild plague spread across the Elite Encounter crew. Tonight we're back to play again, which I'm super excited to jump back in on and wrap up. The thing that makes Dawn of the Frogs different than kind of other kind of one-shots that we've run in the past is that it is a game night box. And this is something new that Paizo started late last year, and they're actually releasing a new game night box in October here, and that's called, let's see, Dragon's Crown. It's basically set in Corvosa, and you play as dragonettes that have had their crown stolen from them by an imp, and it takes you all over Corvosa. So that looks really cool, and I'm excited when that comes out, and we'll have another game night box to throw on the back burner. And I want to point out, for full disclosure, guys, these game night boxes are 35 bucks. They're cheap, they're easy to grab, and everything you need to play is inside them. So they're super great because it comes with all the maps, it comes with a set of dice, and it comes with all the rules for the GM and all the players to play with in a very concise, neat package. And the thing that makes them different from a beginner box is that they do not have a truncated rule set. So historically, you know, in 1E and 2E, the beginner's box kind of cut out some stuff that maybe, you know, doesn't feel as important to beginner players. Maybe some of the lore skills or some of the recall knowledge skills, and they kind of, you know, simplify it to make it easier. Well, in the game box, we're playing with full rules right out the gate, so you'll see some of those lore skills on your character sheets, and I think that's really cool to not. Sometimes that can cause confusion when you're switching back and forth between the kind of basic intro rules and then the full rules. So I'm glad that we're playing full rules right off the bat, and I'm excited about that. Also, something that the game night box does not include is hero points, but you'll scratch those off on your physical sheet. But I have some fungible tokens we'll pass around to play with for the hero point system. So I've got the Pathfinder coins, which has that Pathfinder P and then the glyph of the open road on the back. So I'll pass these around, and we'll use these as our hero points tonight. I'll set 2 this way.
Jacob, can you set one out on the E for a moment?
Yes, of course. I'd be happy to. Here, I'll set one right smack dab in the middle. So there is that Pathfinder P on the front, and then in the back, the tail side, we've got the glyph of the open road there, and that's kind of the symbol of the Pathfinder Society. And these are, you know, just little commemorative coins you can get from Paizo. I think they make a perfect hero point token. and just kind of lean further into having physical, something to keep track of, so you know how many hero points you got. You don't ever want to be in a really dire situation and can't remember how many everybody's got. So that can really take away from either the joy and excitement or the dread and frustration of a very difficult encounter. So before we jump in, I wanted to ask you guys, is there anything that's coming out from Paizo that you're most excited about? And if it's not Paizo, something that is just TTRPG related, or just a game in general that you're excited about, maybe something new, an old game that's new to you and you're excited about giving a try. For me, it's the Vault Lines AP that they announced. I think that's coming out the end of this year, like November, and it sets up so that the Sky King's Tomb, the very like dwarven underground adventure path, will finish up right at the starting level of this new Vault Lines AP. And if anybody knows anything about what the Vault Keepers are, they're basically a faction in Galarian that was first kind of discovered in the 1E adventure Emerald Spire. And they basically build these vaults deep underground that are kind of like the Journey to the Center of the Earth, like hidden jungle biome situation. So I think that's going to be a really cool AP, and I really would like to play all the way through with a group of dwarves or some kind of underground, whether that's Cirque or something like that. Some really cool thematic ancestries to play all the way through. So I'm excited to see Vault Lines come out. I'm excited to see what kind of crazy stuff is in it, because I know that things like frog hemoths, Tyrannosaurus Rexes, stuff like that are hanging out in those vaults. So I think that's going to be awesome. And we'll go around the table. Kayla, do you have anything that you're excited about?
I mean, not really.
That's okay. It doesn't have to be Paizo stuff. Doesn't have to be TTRPG stuff. New game, new movie. Anything?
I mean, right now my life is gymnastics. So.
Gymnastics. All right. That's awesome. Okay.
Have you learned to do a backflip yet?
I have not. However, our daughter is going to regionals.
All right. Well, congratulations.
So,
yeah. No, that's always
our
awesome to
focus
see.
right
See your kids achieve things and really find things that they really are into and
Yeah.
lean into it. So that's very rewarding, and I'm excited for you. What about you, Nick?
Except it's the first day of PopCon.
Yeah.
That's true. It is PopCon weekend.
Oh,
Regionals,
boy.
So.
Nothing Paizo, but
Yeah.
first thing that popped into my head was Frosthaven.
Okay.
My wife got it
Yeah.
for me for my birthday like last year, so
Yeah.
we're talking like almost 14 months ago at this point.
Gotcha.
I cracked it open, and it weighs like 70 pounds.
Oh,
and I
my goodness.
was intimidated by it and didn't even break open any of the cardboard. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna put this away until I have time to actually dive into it.
Gotcha.
So,
Is that single player or is that?
it's 1 to 4 players.
Okay.
It's got like a campaign module with like a rule book, so you can like break it up into campaign sessions and everything. So
That sounds super cool.
So it's a pretty big undertaking.
That kind of perpetual TTRPG dilemma of this really cool game for a fandom or concept I really like, and now I just need to find people to play it with me. I know that. Yep. Speaking of, Jason Bullman that wrote this Dawn of the Frogs, he has like through his Minotaur games, the Hellfinder hack. He has a couple hacks to the Pathfinder 2e system. One's like a zombie survivor, and this one is like government conspiracy, kind of Lovecraftian. And I think that when we first started playing episode 1, that was like when he was just kickstartering that. So I want to shout that back out. I know it's still in development, and I know he's still working on it, and I can't wait to see it. And I'm definitely gonna be looking for players when I finally get my hands on that sweet binder, because it's a very, very cool setting. So anyway, what about you, Keevan?
I think you bailed me out there, because I know there are things that are coming, but I just mind is total blank.
That's fine.
But Frosthaven, yes, I have a copy. I have 2 copies of Gloomhaven.
We have Gloomhaven.
And yeah, I'm excited for Frosthaven. On the other hand, it's like, when do I stop playing Gloomhaven to crack it open?
So maybe Elite Frosthaven night.
Whoa,
That's a great idea.
sounds like a great idea. I'll sign you up to kind of host that. But that sounds like an awesome thing to pivot to if we need a backup show. That would be awesome.
I'm
Great.
on board.
Okay.
I need a fork truck to lift the box.
I'm sure that the
just
table
stronger.
that you have put together with Mike will definitely support it. So.
I'm forklift certified.
There's always one. There's always one.
Actually, 2. I am
There's
as
always
well.
2. There's at least 2. All right. What about you, Jenny? Anything you're excited about?
Nothing game-wise.
Yeah.
Because I don't really, I'll be honest with you, I don't really stay up on the games. Somebody
Sure.
says, ooh, look, a cool thing, let's do this. Okay. That's how
kinda
I learned
tag
about
along.
things.
I got you.
I didn't know about Pathfinder 2E until somebody said, "Hey, we're gonna put together this campaign, and we need a cleric."
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm kind of very much like the PC gamer, always looking at indie games. I'm always got like the radar out for cool concepts, but I totally appreciate my friends that I can send these things to and be like, hey, check this out, and they just jump in with me. So we definitely need people like you, Jenny, to play our games with.
The only thing
So-
that I can say that I'm looking forward to is PopCon.
Yeah, that's huge. Do you
'Cause
want to
that's
just
gonna
take a
be-
moment? I'm not in any rush to get started, so if you want to take a
Okay.
moment to kind of shout it out, what we're all about there.
All right. I mean, PopCon's coming up May 8th, 9th, and 10th.
I don't have control over gymnastics.
We're gonna be in the vendor hall with a booth. We're working on that, putting that together. And then we're gonna be in room 124 with bar fights for bonding, just like last year, with all the nifties. It's gonna be lots of fun. Really great prizes.
Yep. And there's a nifty map in the Discord as well, right, of how to find our room at PopCon? Because it is quite a
Sort of.
labyrinth. Okay.
I
But,
will update it when they refresh, because like last year they
I
had
gotcha.
everything like
Mixed around.
spelled out.
Okay.
We had
Yeah.
this. Our little room was like teal with black letters even.
Got it. Yeah, so
So-
we'll keep you guys posted as to get closer, because we'll also have that booth on the floor, and we'll want to make sure you guys can find both of those locations.
Yeah.
For those that have like come into town for Gen Con in Indy, this is a much chiller vibe. It's definitely a breath of fresh air in
Yeah.
comparison, but it's a super great con. There's going to be some really good voice actors, really good artists, authors, and just nerds running around. So it's going to be great.
There's a robot
Yes.
competition. There's also going to be PerCon. And then, of course, bar fights for bonding. Who doesn't want to do that?
I know Joseph is like top of his list is to go to PerCon and the robot battles. So I'm sure that he'll be excited to check that out for sure. I'm going to go around the table one more time. I have another just quick little intro to help the viewers get to know you guys a little better. What kind of like vibe are you guys going for when you play a adventure role-playing game? Like, do you want to play like an Eastern influence, very anime centric game? Do you want to play like grimdark survival? Like what kind of flavor do you put into the characters you make? Because I know that like the vibe that I want to go with is like gets injected into the characters that I play, which always turns into like the tragic hero that like got pulled up from, I guess, like a mundane average life. And that's just like, I just infuse that in every character I play. I can't help it. What about you, Kayla?
I mean, I play a lot of fighters, but
Yeah?
I like the you go out and you find like I'm big on dragons.
Okay.
I love dragons.
Yeah?
So like anything that like that's that honestly mythological more than fantasy
Yeah. Okay.
type feel to it.
Gotcha. So just like fantastical beasts and where to find them, or
Yeah.
more like you like stuff that's grounded in like a mythology, like a historical mythology.
Kind of both.
Okay.
I can
Yeah.
go either way.
So
as
just
long as it's
really
got those
cool.
beasts there.
As long as you got cool monsters, you're
Yeah.
in. Okay. That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. There'll be a couple ones I think you might like tonight. We'll
Yeah.
see. What about you, Nate?
I kind of like the grimdark fantasy type
Yeah?
of atmosphere. Haven't really been able to play in one too much, but that definitely appeals to me.
Yeah, there's some newer systems that I'm definitely have a little bit more of that grungier vibe that I am intrigued by, but 2E still has my heart for the time being, so I'm having a blast playing in the system. And I think that even though there are rule supplements for, character options to be like the like pixie sorcerer that's more fairy tale themed, it doesn't mean you have to play that kind of style in your game. I mean, you could even totally play like a skull fairy and have a very dark vibe out of a pretty traditional, fairy tale creature. So, yeah. What about you, Kiva?
I like intrigue. I always want to play, somebody with a lot of secrets, somebody who's investigating a lot of secrets. Your shadow runs,
Sure.
your palace intrigues,
Yeah.
and I like to make characters that are centered around that, and I try to play that way. And then a few sessions in, I invariably am just blowing everything up anyway. It's like I
gotcha.
can't stick to it, but I want to.
I understand. Yeah, I get that. So intelligence is not often your dump stat when it comes to the characters you pick.
Well, it's been a shit. a shift. More often than not, it's charisma that is a priority anymore, where it always used to be my dump stat.
Yeah, that makes sense because you want to be able to ask the questions you want to ask. Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm good at it. So intelligence.
Yes. I think some of us play like the characters we want to be. So, sometimes that means I'm going to play the really smart guy because I want to try to learn to like talk and role play a little bit more intellectually. And sometimes it just doesn't fall flat. So I relate. What about you, Jenny?
I really am kind of one of those all-around players. Like, I can tell you that 90% of the time, my characters end up being a caregiver. Like, what is the word I'm talking? What's the word here? No, the moral of the group.
Okay.
The moral or the, I guess mother hen healer type.
the shepherd of the flock, so to speak.
Yeah. It's what I tend to end up in.
Yeah.
But I have no problems with blowing things up and throwing people under the bus.
Yeah, okay.
I have done grimdark, I have done fantasy, I've done all the above. Like, I'm talking Witcher, 40K, which would be Dark Heresy.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
So
all the above.
You're a role-playing chameleon. You're here to fill the role and to basically help the party be the best they can be.
Yes.
I like that. That's
It's
awesome.
just like, again, when we started this, I said, "What don't you have?" And the seer said, "They don't have a healer," and I went, "Sign me up for a cleric."
It's funny. I told one of my groups that, and they said, "Oh, we'll just have somebody trained in medicine." So
I will tell you, one of my favorite characters is a bard.
Yeah, bards are super awesome. I keep having people tell me that I should try to play a bard because it's so off type for me. It's just not the kind of character I play.
And she was a knowledge bard, but also charisma. This was 3.5 though.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, I love a good 1E 3/5 game.
Yeah. The 3/5. It was a 3/5, and I had multi-classes, and I was everywhere.
Yes.
Bard is a great platform for multi-classing. For sure.
I was bard, gatecrasher, had a little bit of cleric in there.
Yep.
And I also had lasher, which is a whip
Cool.
class.
Okay.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Have like reach with a whip. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely I think that the free archetype system allows for some really cool dips into different players in 2E, but yeah, nothing beats some of that super crunchy 1E character that has 5 classes, and every time you level them up, you get so mad at yourself for making this character because nothing makes sense, and it takes an hour and a half to level them up.
You see, I've also played like barbarians.
Yep.
And like one of my other characters in 3.5 was a barbarian chaos monk.
Yeah. Super cool combo. I like that. I think a monk barbarian cool, or just like the bestial barbarians that use unarmed attacks. Is super cool. But good news, we don't have to worry about ultra crunchy, super confusing classes or characters tonight. We're playing with very simple level 1 characters that even if you're not familiar with Pathfinder 2E, you should be able to pick up their sheets and work through it together with your team, with your family, with your party, whoever you're deciding to pick up the game box and play with. So I'm gonna throw the game box kind of in the camera shot, and we'll kind of talk about what's in here. We'll do kind of like a live unboxing. We did this last time, but I kind of want to remind everybody what's in here. So we've got this wonderful game box, and inside I've got a set of dice. So you could set those in the middle of the table if your whole party needed to share. However, I think we all brought our own dice. This is the
dice goblins.
Yes, we all have several
Most
pairs,
of us.
which comes with this hobby. You just think you always need one more set. The GM book, so that's got all the information for a GM to run the game.
Not one more set. I need all the dice.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I ordered a couple of sets recently.
Oh my gosh.
And
I just
trust
need all the
me,
dice.
this is not even close to what I have.
Well, you have to melt them down every time you roll a natural 1, so you have to replace
That's right. Yeah, they go to dice jail and they never come out. I've got character sheets here, so these are just very easy couple page that really break things down, color code, like it's very easy to read for new players. So I've got scratch copies for you guys, so you don't tear up my nice copies. I'll pass those out to you. And then I've got cool paper maps for everywhere we're going to play. So we don't need a dry erase. We don't need a battle mat. We can use these for everything we're playing on tonight. Of course, I've got the little stanchions for all the creatures we're going to fight. I'm going to put that away so you guys don't peek. So we got lots of fun stuff to fight.
You just showed everybody.
Well, yeah, but not long enough. Unless you go back and pause the live stream. I don't think you're going to oh no. I'm watching you, Jenny. Don't you do it.
I saw that Tarrasque.
That's right. Oh god. Level
DJ,
1.
send me a screenshot.
That's right. Going to be fighting Rovagug. Get ready. Oh boy.
Not a level 1.
No. I think that even at level 20, a creature like that is designed so that either you're not supposed to fight it, or so that if you do fight it, most people die. Okay, so I'm gonna go around the table and we're gonna roll some dice. I've got an order in mind, and we're gonna randomly select the character you're playing tonight. So, okay, if you'd like to go first, just give me a D4, and
D4.
we'll let the fates decide who you're playing tonight.
4.
Okay. In the back here,
Dun, dun, dun.
you get Ezrin, the human wizard.
Ooh, the old guy.
So yeah, maybe
45-year-old.
I lost
Yeah.
all my D4s.
yeah, they make it sound like he had a midlife crisis at
It
30.
really
His
does.
hair is solid white, and he's 45 years old.
Yes, he the 45 years of adventuring have not been kind to him. All right, yeah, go ahead, Nate. Give me another D4. We'll ignore 4, so just reroll.
1.
Okay. You get Mariziel, the elf rogue. That's exciting. All right, 2 left.
take a
Kiva,
while.
just do evens and odds for me. That'll be easy.
That works. Even.
Okay. Even is going to be Valoros, the human fighter.
And then Jenny has
Oh,
to
look,
roll
I
to see
get
if
a
she-
cleric!
Jenny, the cleric. All right. So I think you'll be in great shape getting to play Kira. I'm going to move my little tablet out of the way because I'm not going to need it much tonight. We're going to be playing on paper. I'll grab it if I need to. All right.
Look, I know what I'm doing, ish.
Yeah, I know what you mean. All right, before we dive fully into the recap, I just want to take a moment to let's all reset, take a deep breath, and think about, kind of the first time we started playing games like this. I'm sure you guys all remember where you were, who you were playing with, and it was memorable to you. I know it was for me. So maybe for some of you that's, you're in a basement in a tri-level home, and your buddy mentioned that he's been working on this campaign and you wanted to try it out, so you slip down there while his parents are, setting up dinner, and he reaches under the couch in the cement floor basement and pulls out a red box and a spiral bound notebook, and he starts explaining this world that he's created that you're going to play in. So just take a moment, close your eyes, think about, those first fond memories of playing an RPG like this, and we'll try to infuse that into playing these characters, right? We want to just treat it like we're playing for the first time, and we're going to take a nice, slow, educational pace to this so that we're kind of getting to enjoy these characters, and hopefully the viewers learn something by the end of this and maybe want to pick up one of these game boxes or another book or another adventure by the end of the episode, because I want to be able to make sure we all understand what's happening at the table, even though some of us are quite experienced in the 2E system. I don't want to glaze over all the details. I really want to dive in and talk about what's happening for each character. So with that in mind, let's jump into a brief little recap. So the adventure, Dawn of the Frogs, takes place in a small town, I guess, maybe village even, of Dunmire. Bogbottom. Bogbottom is a small village in the Dunmire. It's a large swamp on the northern edge of the Isle of Kordos on Galarian. The Isle of Kordos is this island right in the inner seas region. Basically separates Avestan, the big giant kind of maybe European-ish analog nation or continent of Galarian, with Garund, which is kind of this African generally analog in Galarian. So the Isle of Kordos is kind of smack dab between the two of those in this big inner sea region. And on the south end of the island is the city of Absalom, which of course is the city at the center of the world, the greatest melting pot on Galarian. And just a little ways away is this backwater village in the middle of a swamp, and that's where this is taking place. So we won't see too many fanciful creatures other than the characters you're playing and maybe some frogs. But last time, you guys, the adventurers came into town and they told you that some townsfolk had gone missing near an old mill somewhere in the Dunmire. So you decided to investigate and see what was going on. You made your way into the mill. You wound up fighting some beetles, a big giant monitor lizard. I don't know if you remember that. Mm-hmm. And then you wound up fighting some boggards at the top floor. Boggards are basically these like humanoid frog people. And you were facing those, and there was some human prisoners up in the top of the mill. And they seem to have been not quite right, been drugged somehow from these boggards. So you dispatched the boggards, you brought them back to the town of Bogbottom, and the town healer, Ladruza, explained that basically there's something not quite right with them. But after, you guys tried to get some rest after your kind of arduous adventure through the swamp, and she interrupted you, pounding on the door like, you need to come here and come quick. They don't know anything about their life in Bogbottom. There's something really wrong with them. So she pointed out that she does know of an antidote that she can prepare as kind of a swamp herbalist of sorts, right? She understands kind of the things that grow in the Dunmire and how they can be used, which is probably an extremely useful skill in the village of Bogbottom. So she sent you after 3 ingredients. Let's see. The ingredients are the lantern berries, the pale waning mushrooms, and the petals of the tomb flower. When you left, after taking a map from Ladruza on a flatboat with a big push pole, you guys paddled through and did go to the tombs where you found the tomb flowers and fought some skeletons that rose up. So you've collected those, and then you've now made your way to the berry patch, which is where you're looking for these lantern berries on the map. Basically, this berry patch is kind of a large mound-like island that's just covered in these brambly berry bushes. You guys have been adventuring in the Dunmire for about 5 hours, so it's early afternoon, maybe 1 o'clock-ish. But keep that in mind, because you don't necessarily want to be out here at night, or if you do, you're gonna have to set up a camp. So I'll have to take that into consideration. It'll be much harder to navigate at night on your little barge. So let's jump back in and we'll talk about the berry patch. Let me get the map out. Do my best not to sound like I'm crumpling a newspaper into the microphone. All right. I guess we only really need this one. Look at that. We'll use the other half later.
Just trying to hide it from us.
That's right. You'll see it soon enough. Don't you worry. We'll get there. All right. So, as you guys pull your barge up to this mound-like island, it's covered in brambles, and the hill kind of ascends up to the middle of the island. What do you do?
Who's everybody playing?
That's a great question, Mike. And for those at home that I say Valeros, Kira, Mariziel, and Ezrin, some people know exactly who I'm talking about, because these are the iconic players that kind of represent each of the classes. And there are iconics for all of the classes. So basically, Paizo has basically sample builds and these kind of characters that represent what maybe a typical or atypical character is of that class. So let's take a moment before we jump into adventuring in the berry patch. Let's take a moment and read these little cover biographies, just short little blurbs, and that'll help us get into character of who these people are and who we're playing as. So yeah, why don't you go first, Kayla? Just read that blurb on the front.
Have Ezrin, the human wizard. He is the 4th son of an affluent spice merchant, and Ezrin never dreamed of becoming an adventurer, but after the business fell to ruin due to his father's corruption, he was left with little choice, and at the age of 42, he ventured out to learn magic and see the wider world of Galeran. Learning that few would take an apprentice in his 40s, Ezrin set out to teach himself the ways of magic, and over the next decade, his travels took him to many faraway places, so he's at least 52. this point. He picked up more than just a few spells. He gained a wider appreciation for the world and the people that live in it. Ezrin is evenly measured, willing to take a risk, but not foolish in his actions. He is compassionate to those he meets, looking to help them with their plight, especially if it involves corruption or families in danger. He's a skeptic, especially when it comes to motives of others, but he has absolute faith in his own abilities, especially his magic. Today, Ezrin travels with 3 of his most trusted companions, moving from place to place in search of adventure and the coin that pays for the next leg of their journey.
Okay.
I'll be playing Mariziel, the elf rogue. Growing up on the streets of human cities is not easy for Mariziel. Elves who find themselves abandoned in this way grow up with a strange sense of self, never fully belonging, even with other street urchins. Mariziel never stayed in one place for long, stowing away on ships to travel all around the world, calling dozens of cities home. Always on the lookout for her next adventure, Mariziel has always thrown herself into danger, counting on her skills with the blade to get her out of any truly dangerous situation. And even if it all goes wrong, she can simply slip into the shadows, off to find some other adventure. Mariziel tries to live life to the fullest. Having seen countless friends and allies die over the years has given her a zest to get the most out of her, admittedly, potentially very long life. She is open and expressive with her emotions. No one has ever accused her of holding back her true thoughts. After wandering for many years, Mariziel has fallen into a small group of adventurers looking for wrongs to right and coin to be won, a situation that suits her just fine.
I'll be playing Valeros, a human fighter. Valeros was destined to be a farmer. Growing up in a small farming village in Andaram, that destiny very nearly came true. But just before his marriage to a local farmer's daughter, the call of the open road and a life of thrilling travel became too great to ignore. He quietly gathered his belongings and left to follow his dreams. However, life on the road was a dangerous one, and he soon fell in with mercenaries who only valued him for his sword arm and his ability to bleed. Hopping from group to group, he soon realized that the only true path to fortune would be to strike out on his own as an adventurer. Valeros might appear curious and jaded, but he has a noble heart and a deep affection for those he calls friends. He is reckless and fearless on the battlefield, throwing himself in the way of any threat, knowing that his sword and his shield will see him through any hardship. Valeros' only real goal is to experience the best things in life: fine blades, good food, and soft company. Valeros travels with a band of 3 fellow adventurers these days, and he works with them as a part of a practiced team, which is good because it means he is more likely to get paid in coin and good ale.
Thank you.
I'll be playing Kira, the human cleric. Kira was raised in a small village in faraway Qadira,
yeah.
where she was often taken to the local shrine dedicated to Saren Ray, the sun goddess. There she basked in the many stained glass windows and watched as the priestesses prayed and practiced their swordplay. These same priestesses later laid down their lives in defense of the small village. These sacrifices allowed Kira to live, while much of the rest of the town burned. In the ashes of that shrine, Kira swore to honor the priestesses' dedication and follow in their footsteps, becoming a cleric of Saren Ray herself. Kira is driven by her faith and belief in Saren Ray, who teaches that compassion and peace are true virtues and that everyone deserves a chance for redemption, but those who turn away from this grace are given no mercy. Kira embodies this belief, being merciful to those that repent and bringing swift justice to those who don't. After years of study and training, Kira travels the world with her 3 trusted companions, bringing the light of Saren Ray's compassion to all the dark corners of the world.
Yeah, Saren Ray is a very, very cool deity in Pathfinder lore. Very, very redemptive, very justice-oriented, and very much like that cleansing light. And Qadira is like the Middle East of Galarian, so very cool place. She has a scimitar that she wields.
Yes, scimitar,
Yeah.
and I there's a shield on here, but
Could
I
be,
can't
yeah.
be. I gotta look it over first.
Yeah, no, very, very cool. I'm excited to see you play this cleric.
I mean, it's really reminiscent to what I play on Tuesday.
Sure, yeah,
Technically.
I would say that. Yeah, I would agree.
Because if we were not in a homebrew world, Sunshine would be
I
a
think she
cleric
would be
of
a
Samurai.
Samurai. Yeah, I think so. I think that would fit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
No question about that.
Yeah, unless there's a more obscure deity that I'm not familiar with, I think Serenray would be the perfect
No,
deity for.
she would be.
Yep,
But
definitely.
it's homebrew, so we don't have that
Sure. Yeah.
exact.
Exactly, and the circumstances of the kind of deific struggle in Iotadri is definitely very unique.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
but we're not in Iotadri. We're in Galarian tonight. So let's talk about how we're going to climb up this mound through these briars and brambles to make your way to the top. Because you're, at least from a cursory glance from the barge, these bushes around the perimeter of the mound are barren of berries. So what do you do?
And they're too thick to just walk through.
So you can basically either just try to trudge right through them, more quickly, or you could take your time to very methodically, kind of duck or crawl, squeeze between patches. So you can kind of weave your way up there, but it'll take more time. Or you can try to shove yourself through.
I think I would, try to take my time and sneak my way up.
Okay.
Just in case there's any danger.
Sounds good. What about you, Kayla? What is
Oh,
Ezra
I'll
doing?
definitely take my time.
I think that fits Ezra's vibe.
I'm a methodical person.
Yes. All right. What about Valorous? What is he gonna do?
He's just gonna press through the bushes. Probably hack a path.
Sure. Okay. So as he's just hacking his way through, why don't you give me an athletics check? First roll of the night.
13.
Okay. So as you're swinging your arms, maybe you overextend and you catch some of those thorny branches across your arm. And you're gonna take 2 piercing damage. Okay. And what about Kira? What's she got?
I think I would take it easy and kind of pick my way through the bushes.
Okay.
Do we even know what these lantern berries look like?
I think that Ladruza would have probably given you kind of a rough description that they're red berries that kind of have a glow to them.
Okay.
And at least
Seems good.
as you're pushing your way through, you don't see anything like that yet.
That would be too easy.
Yep.
You can't just be on the outside. You don't even have to get large.
So these 3 are kind of pushing their way slowly and methodically up. Valorous, why don't you give me another athletic step to try to shove your way through faster?
That's a nat 20.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so definitely you realize that maybe reaching out with a full extension of your arm wasn't working, and you kind of bring it in tighter, and you cut yourself through just almost at a full pace, trod right through the bushes, and you push yourself into the berry patch proper. We'll put us right on the edge. Then you guys are still kind of back here. And what do you guys continue to do your thing? Valorous, when you make through, do you just wait for them, or are you going to do something else once you get yourself through?
I can see these bushes. Do I recognize whether they're the correct berries?
Yeah, so you do recognize that they are the correct berries just based on Ladruza's description. I won't necessarily need a roll for it, but I'll describe the block text here. So even from a distance, the golden berries faintly glow among the brambles at the top of the hill. These must be the lantern berries that Ladruza needs to cure the villagers. So yeah, you do see these bright red kind of glowing berries in the center. And they do seem like what you need to grab. And if I remember correctly, Valorous also has the flowers kind of stuffed into his bag from last time. So you have a bag you could certainly push them into.
Can't believe they have us hacking through the thorns like this. We're here. Get up here.
Okay, so waiting for your party?
Yeah, I'm not going to do all the work myself.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, so you guys, if he does wait for you, then everybody will kind of make their way up to the patch. We want to have a specific marching order. Do we care? Just kind of along the edge here. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't matter too much, because it's just berries, right?
Yeah. Famous last words.
Yes. Who is going to collect the berries now that we're all here?
I'll participate.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd go ahead.
Okay. So the three of you. What about Ezra? Is he hanging back?
I'll
Or?
just watch.
All right.
Look around, make sure nothing's gonna
Let
come
the
up.
young
Especially
ones
after being
take it.
attacked by the skeletons last time.
What?
Come on, Ezra, you only live once.
That's right.
Live
Yeah.
life to its fullest.
And you're
This is my
almost done with
second life
yours.
through my first life. I have a whole new life.
His clock's ticking. Just gotta enjoy it. Okay. Yeah, so as you guys make your way to the berries and you start taking handfuls and pushing them into your bag so you have plenty to create antidote for as many villagers as may need, you do suddenly hear a loud buzzing noise. And basically there's this thick fog covering the top of the island once you get up there, and cutting down through the fog are these two giant insects. And with that, we will roll for initiative, the first combat, as these large creatures start flying. Now, they're not actually large mechanically, but they are large for what they are.
I would like to sneak
Okay,
my initiative here.
sure. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take an avoid notice.
It's just a stealth roll, right?
Yep.
12.
Okay. Righty. What about Ezrin? What?
Also a 12.
12. Okay. Who would like to defer to whom?
He can go for it.
Okay. What about Valoros? What'd you get?
11.
11. Beautiful. And
Okay,
Kira?
this is perception
Yes. Yes.
plus your die roll.
You got it. Thank you for taking a moment to slow down and explain what we got going on. Yeah, so traditionally, perception is what you're using for initiative, unless you're doing something specific, like trying to avoid notice, like Mariziel is doing. And after this combat, we'll kind of maybe take a moment at the next location that you go to, and we'll talk about what the kind of exploration activities are. We'll
Okay,
break
I
that
was
down a
just
bit.
checking
Yeah.
because I'm on a 24.
24.
I
Oh
rolled
my
a
goodness.
5.
I rolled an 8.
So,
I rolled a 6.
Okay.
I'm just
You're
checking.
good.
I'm just checking.
Also, I have a question.
Yes.
I'm down the spells that he used last time, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay.
if there's anything marked off on there, you guys haven't slept since then.
Just making sure.
sorry.
I know. This guy just burned through all his
Yeah.
spells, and you're left with the
No, I
don't
scraps.
remember.
No, one of them's good. You
Okay.
gave me armor.
All right.
Mystic armor.
Oh yeah, that's a
Oh, yeah,
good spell
that's
to
right.
cast at the beginning of the
Yeah.
day, right? Because that lasts all
Cantrips
day.
don't cost anything.
No.
Right, but he used the breathe fire one, which was actually kind of fun.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think that was very clutch because it took out
was,
several
yeah.
skeletons.
Well, why
and
don't
it
you
was-
take a nap?
Yeah, okay.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, since you're sitting over there at the corner of the island, just go to sleep.
No,
and
I
let us
was
handle this.
watching.
He probably is napping.
Yeah. He's a miserly 52 years old.
All right.
Fell
I
asleep
mean,
on his
how long do people
staff.
usually live in this?
That's a great question.
Valerian?
So I think that it is
Like,
true.
how old is he really?
I think that because of this fantasy setting, it is true that there is more of an extended life that we would expect
Right,
to see
it's
in more
not like a
modern time.
normal-
It's not like medieval
Yeah.
dark ages where like if you make it to 40 you're venerable. That's not necessarily the case, right? Like this
Okay.
yeah, this is
More like
definitely
biblical where you live hundreds of years.
I think like 60, 70 is probably normal for a human. However, an elf certainly could use
Oh,
live hundreds of
60,
years.
70. So, yeah, I'm on my deathbed, guys.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Ezrin is very spry.
Sorry.
Ezrin,
I remember when I was in my 50s.
oh dear.
Such a child.
Yes, yes, yeah.
It
Ezrin,
doesn't say how
he
old.
does his crunches in the morning. He does his stretches. He knows what he's doing. He's fine.
Why does it say how old he is? The
Because my
wizard
life
is?
changed when I was 42.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't say how old Mariziel is either, but I'm assuming she's in her hundreds somewhere.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it could
Why?
be.
Why you gotta pick on the wizard like that?
I don't know, because I think they're explaining that, you know, as opposed to the traditional like Hogwarts kid that like grew up
Yeah.
in magic, like he, you know, just decided to
He's a
have a
noob.
midlife crisis and break off and try something new.
Yeah.
That's why he's a level 1
He's a
wizard
noob.
at 50.
I was going to say, that,
Yeah, and has become an accomplished wizard.
Yeah.
But you know,
Not
just
yet.
not the traditional path of learning from a pupil or being an apprentice,
no,
like
he
a wizard's apprentice.
taught himself. That's
Right.
why we're still level 1.
Which is very cool.
10 years later.
Right, which is very cool and unique. Yeah, yeah. 10 years of level 1's a long time, Ezra. I don't know what you're doing. I guess now he's got
Lots
the
of
coin
learning.
that he's an adventurer. Now he can
Yeah.
afford to buy the cool scrolls
Right.
and stuff. I don't know. But
I'll level up eventually.
Either way,
Be a whole level 2.
if you survive to level up.
I do have notes on here that says 4 scrolls of heal.
Okay,
I have
great.
3 scrolls of Force Barrage.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I imagine that's stuff that we found or bought or looted along the way. So if that's written down on your sheet, great. That's what you got.
And I have one thing that's been altered.
Yeah.
My bonus to hit has been changed from 9 to 10.
You get a
Is that-
magic sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh,
found a
magic
+1 sword. Yep.
I have something called the deck of many things. Is that right?
Isn't that it's the
You can
top
throw
now,
something
right?
at him.
Oh yeah,
The
that's
remastered
right.
is the top.
Yeah.
Feel free to throw something at him. It's okay.
Yeah. Not allowed. Yeah, just scribble in like I've got a +4 major striking. Okay. So the thing that's gonna go first is one of these massive flies. TJ, if you could throw up the art, we'll have a kind of a decent idea of how big these flies are.
Oh my
They
god.
rolled over a 24.
Yes.
Dang.
That's their start.
Yes. So these nasty, large, bloated flies come buzzing down through the mist, and they look hungry. So
Blood.
In the
Yes.
belly.
Abdomen or
yes.
Oh, that's
Well, maybe
gross.
it's blood. Maybe it's berry
berries are
berry
also
juice.
red.
Oh, that's
Exactly.
true. Maybe they eat
Berry
berries.
juice.
Maybe they're friendly guys. Maybe
Yeah.
we don't have to attack them.
I was gonna have him fly there. I'll have him fly somewhere where he's not so tilted on this map. Stay. Yeah, he's in that square. He's gonna fly up to Valros and take a bite.
Oh, well, there goes my theory of friendly flies.
Ooh, how about a 27?
Not a crit.
Oh, that's great news. I was very nervous that I'm rolling this way. This is gonna be a short episode. Okay.
Why does everything go after me?
Yeah, good news.
GPK.
It's only 5 points of piercing damage.
Valeros, look out! You're under flyer.
Yes.
Butterfly.
And now I'm gonna
Oh,
need
God.
a fortitude save from Valros when this thing bites into you.
20.
20. Okay.
Nat?
Not nat, just total.
No,
No.
27.
Oh, okay, so nat 20. All right.
That's 2 nat 20s from you.
I know.
Wow.
Rolling hot. Keep that up. So I'm
wait,
gonna
no, the net was.
slow down for a moment here too and explain like when I ask for a saving throw, there are 3 kinds of saving throws you can roll in this game, right? There are fortitude saves, reflex saves, and will saves. And creatures target those various saves with certain abilities, and so can you with your spells. Like that breathe fire, I think, is a reflex save. The way that works is each character, based on the stats that they have, has a bonus to those 3 things. And when that effect is triggered, you use that bonus plus the d20 roll to give you your saving throw against that effect. So because Valros is very fortuitous, he's a strong fighter, it's easier than it is for some to overcome these effects. So bitten by the fly, but not affected, he's able
And
to
rolling
shrug
a
it off.
Natural 20 bumps you up on your success. 1
Exactly.
degree,
Yeah,
so-
nat 1s and nat 20s bump you either up or down another degree of success. Thank you, Nate, for pointing that out. So this is a critical success and is totally unaffected by this effect. But it has 1 more action. So let's see. What is it going to do? Probably bite again. That's going to miss. That's an 8. So that will bring us to Kira. What do? You see these massive flies fly down. One's buzzing right on Valros.
Okay, I'm going to use one of my actions to draw my scimitar,
Okay, great.
and then am I within range to hit it?
You're 10 feet away, so not quite. You may have to kind of reposition, move around Valros somehow.
Okay, I'm going to move to the other side of him.
Like here,
No, where I can hit the thing.
like there.
Well, if that's where I can hit it, then yes.
Yeah, that's probably the closest you can get to hit it.
And
without
then
having
my
to push into the bush.
third action,
Yep.
I'm going to strike it with my scimitar,
Okay.
hopefully. Ooh, I rolled a 19. So 23.
23 is it?
Like that.
Oh, I don't either. Ugh.
Dang.
But I imagine these, dog-sized flies would sound horrible.
Does that hit?
Yes,
Okay.
it certainly does. I sure hope so. Otherwise, you guys are dead.
At almost
hit.
max damage,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
6.
6 points of damage. Okay, got it.
And that is all of my actions.
Okay. Yes, it is. environment, the other fly is now going to come into play, and it's going to buzz straight to the back. To
Rude.
Ezra,
I'm not even touching the
hanging
berries.
out in the corner. I know,
Wow.
but I don't know. Maybe it's the
Your snoring sounded like buzzing.
I wasn't sleeping. I was watching. I watched these flies come down.
Shouldn't have eaten that banana.
it's that.
I mean, a nana.
Shouldn't have eaten that banana.
That's right. Yeah, it's the pallor of your aged, pale skin. You just look vulnerable.
Smells the circus peanuts in your pocket.
That's right. Yeah. So this is gonna be a 27 to hit you.
Oh yeah, that hits.
This is a critical hit.
Yep.
Critical hit. Okay. So what is your AC?
16.
Okay. So just to clarify, when I'm saying critical hit or like that, so basically when you exceed an AC when you're attacking by 10 or more, it is a critical hit. So we might be used to in other systems where you have to roll that nat 20 to get that critical hit. In this system, basically if you exceed by or fail by more than 10, it's a critical failure or a critical success. So in this case, this fly just critical hit Ezrin just because he did more than 10 over the AC. So that's why in the system every +1 really matters, because the more, it's not just about getting hit less, it's about getting crit less as well, which is a big deal. So
For sure.
here comes some critical damage from this creature. Oh, okay, 8 points of piercing damage. That's not bad. That's just a crit.
It's
Okay.
not great.
Half my hit points.
Fair. But you are level 1 after all.
Hit points.
And I am also going to need a fortitude save from you.
Which you're great at, right?
Yes.
Hey,
Or I bet. Hey, where is
22.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, this seems to
Oh.
totally not affect you. I need to put this
Sounds
die
like
away.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yes. I'm gonna need to put this die away, but this is a 21. Did you?
that? Hits, but
it's not a crit.
No. 4 points of damage.
21 was
cool.
with map.
And another fortitude. Yes.
Oh, map, by the way.
Yes,
for
map is multi-attack penalty. So basically, you have 3 actions in this system that you get to use. So it's not like you get a move action or an attack action or a primary action, bonus action. You get 3 actions and a reaction at the start of each of your turns, and you can use those however you want, to swing 3 times or run 3 times or whatever you want to do. So in this case, the fly flies, that's 1 action, to fly over, and it's going to bite, and then it's going to bite again. That'll be its 3 actions.
And on the second action, map
Right.
multi-attack penalty, take -5 on that second.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so multi-attack penalty, you'll take 5 for each hit. So if you swing twice in a round, it'll be -5 off your main bonus. And if you attack a 3rd time, then it's -10 off of that bonus. So it's quite a big, it's not always advisable to take that 3rd action. It's pretty much a swing for the fences kind of situation. But there are some special things that might make it easier to hit on those multi-attacks. Certain characters, classes, certain types of weapons, right? I think Marizio
Yeah.
might know a thing or two about that. But yeah, that is the fly's turn, and it is Marizio's turn.
All right. Well, I'm going to move to flank this fly with Ezra.
Okay, you can definitely do that. Just kind of press yourself up against the
That
bushes.
puts the fly off guard, which means if I hit, I get an extra 1d6 of damage.
Yes, yeah, and
We
that
like
also
that.
puts
Hey, Jacob, what's flanking?
Yes, so flanking is when you can draw a line straight through a creature to between 2 opponents. So basically, when Marizio and Ezrin are flanking this fly, it is off guard. And what off guard means is that it has a -2 to its armor class, which is a big deal. It means that it's a lot easier for Marizio to hit, and it's easier for them to crit as well. However, the flanking bonus only applies to the creatures that are flanking the creature. So let's say, if Kira had a crossbow and she shot at it from there, she would not get the off guard bonus. It's only the people in that flanking. So
I didn't specify. I'm drawing my rapier. And
Got
then
it.
I'm going to attack with said rapier.
sounds good.
That's a natural 19.
Whoa.
Plus 7 for a 26.
26 is absolutely 26.
Yes. Is that a crit with it?
It's not a crit.
Darn.
Oh yeah, it is a crit because it is flanking. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, that's.
Wait, what?
I know. I was
Dang
like,
it.
I was like a 19 on the die. It better crit.
So that's doubling everything, right?
Yes, including the precision damage. I know we talked about that
I
last time.
didn't crit.
What?
I rolled a 19 and I didn't crit.
It's true.
It's not off guard though, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
precision damage
So I'm
is
gonna-
doubled in 2nd edition. I know in other editions of the games that damage is not multiplied, but it is in this
Wanna roll?
because I think that really it's much the math is very tight in second edition, so I think that, you know, you've got your fighters with your big D12 great axes, and I think your D6 precisions and your smaller weapon damage die. It comes out in the wash to be very balanced.
That's 23. Yeah, 23.
What?
Piercing damage.
23?
23, yes.
Okay. You can dispatch that
nice.
foe in one hit. He can
All right.
dispatch that foe.
I went over there and
Wow.
said, "Hey, don't touch Ezrin," and I run my rapier right through it, and all the berries kind of juice runs out of its abdomen and all over the ground.
Sure. Probably running down that rapier back towards your arm too.
That's gross.
Yep.
Ugh. All right. Well, you handily dispatched that fly, and that was move, draw, swing, right?
Yep.
Or move, draw, stab. And it is now Ezrin's turn.
I'm going to force barrage the other one.
Okay. Go for it. Let's
And I'm
talk a
gonna
bit about
do-
force barrage. So explain how that spell works for him.
So force barrage, I shoot. It's just force damage. So
Yeah.
it's just basically air. I feel like a gust of.
Yeah. Force barrage is the kind of the remastered
Yeah.
nomenclature, the legally distinct version of like magic missile, right?
Missile, yeah.
So automatically hits
Automatically
and you do
hits.
some damage. There's not really anything you can do other than take the damage.
Right. And I can do 1, 2, or 3 action
Right.
of it, and each action gives me another like bolt of the
Right.
force. So we're
Yes.
gonna do the 3 action one.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, because no matter how many actions you choose to do, you still expend that spell slot. So you might as well burn them all if you've got
Yeah.
the actions to spare.
Go for broke.
That's right.
That's 2, 5, 7. 7 points total.
7 points of damage. Okay. That's definitely quite a chunk.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, you see like a couple of these kind of motes of force like pierce the wings and lop off maybe a leg or hit it in the compound eye, and now that's like fractured and going dark, but it's still hanging on.
Good. I mean,
Alright,
not good for
Valorous.
that part, but
It's the end of the round. Bring us home.
I'll draw my longsword and swat at this fly.
Swat you shall.
Not so well though. 15.
15 is unfortunately going to be a miss.
sorry, I should have flanked.
Maybe I should have flanked.
I mean, you still can. You haven't moved.
Well, I wouldn't get another attack. That's 2 actions.
Yeah.
Don't you get 3 actions?
Draws.
Oh,
Draw.
you get to draw your sword. bad.
Kiva's on it. I'm glad to have Nate and Kiva at the table because you guys are both like big time build junkie like I am, rules nerd. It's good to have support so that when I screw something up, you got me.
Full disclosure, I spent like 4 hours building a character the other day for upcoming campaign 2
Yeah.
for Tuesday nights. So, yeah, whenever we get
I
around to
threw
that.
mine together.
I know.
like,
I can't wait to hear. I'm
Yeah.
excited to hear what you guys are cooking up in the lab because
Yeah.
I've got some things I'm putting together all the time.
we might have to talk.
Yeah.
All right, Valros, what are we thinking? Swing and a miss.
Which DC does tripping go against? Is that reflex?
Reflex, I believe, yes.
No, that's not gonna be good. All right, I might as well just swing again then.
Hit him again. Well, hit him.
Other things you can do too. Grapple and whatnot, right?
Yeah, grapple doesn't help me so much in this.
But it'll help me.
like,
Well,
does
it's
it?
He can't fly to me if you've grappled him.
well,
A little bit of a selfish approach.
If he flies to you, I get a reactive strike. So
yeah.
that is a risk I am willing to take.
I just want you to know that I'm next to dying right now, so.
You know what? I am going to trip him, but I'm not going to use assurance. I'm just
Okay.
gonna. I
Swing
don't
for
think a 13 is going to do it. So
Sure. 13 is your trip.
That
No,
would
if
be
he uses
assurance.
assurance.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I don't think that's going to do it. So
No.
I'm going
Nope.
to do it the old-fashioned way.
Sure.
And that's not going to do it either.
How
Okay.
does assurance work, by the way? Is it you choose to do that before you roll?
Yeah, that's a great question. So assurance is a feat that you can take, and it sounds like Valoros has Assurance Athletics, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so basically it allows you to use your proficiency bonus with no other modifiers and then just add a 10. So basically, it's kind of like I've practiced to do this thing over and over, and I can kind of do an average job. Now, the thing that when it says proficiency bonus in 10, that does exclude some things that you usually would add to the roll, like your stat modifier. Yeah. So it can be very good for somebody that's like not very good at charisma, but wants to be intimidating. So they have assurance intimidation or something. But at the same time, you know, it is very clutch when there are things that have fixed DCs versus scaling, right? So if you're gonna, what was that? Yes, treat wounds is a phenomenal use because you know that you're gonna get some healing. And if somebody's in dire straits, you don't want to like roll for the highest possible DC and hope on a whim you get it and give them a lot of health. It's a good like safe way to make sure you do some healing to get somebody back on their feet in the clinch, or maybe with an athletics check to ensure that no matter what, I'm going to jump over this 20-foot gap to the other side because I don't want to risk it and roll a 1 and fall down into a chasm, right? Yeah, so that's a great question. Assurance is a really, really cool mechanic that, I mean, I have my opinions that I think at higher levels there are less things that have those static DCs that fall off, but for the right skill, I think it's a really, really great feat to take.
And it also ignores maps, so
right.
It can be useful for your final action.
Yep, that's a great point. It's a good third action, and if nothing else, you can kind of trial the defenses of a creature, right? Because different athletics checks focus on different saves. So, you know, if you try to grab or trip, one is fortitude, one is reflex. That at least might give you a sense of, oh, this creature, I just tripped it and I roll, and you know, with my assurance, that means it must not be very dexterous. Or, you know, I was able to shove it back, and it must not have a lot of fortitude because I was able to do that with assurance. So yeah, that's a great point, Giva. That's a great third action buffer for sure. And I think that in this system, you're always trying to think of creative ways to use up that third action. Because sometimes, yeah, you don't want to swing at a -10, but you want to do something that's going to help your teammates out. So yeah, that's a great point. Okay. Fly 2 is the top of round 2. We made it through the round, and yes, it is the fly's turn, and it's going to continue to bite at Valoros. That's going to miss. That's a nat 20. I'm sorry, guys. I'm rolling pretty good for these flies. I'm going to put that die in the corner. We'll just say you're. I'll bring you in if I need to kill you.
So go ahead and roll this fortitude save.
Yes, yeah, do that while I roll some damage. It's not going to be a crit, though, so that's at least a safe bet. 9 points of piercing damage. Woof.
It's not a crit on a nat 20?
It was a 19 on the die.
Oh.
Or I guess I did say nat 20, didn't I?
Yeah.
19 3 is a 23. That would be a success, so crit success. That would be max damage, which is 18 points of damage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm down.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So that'll put you into the dying condition. And give me another fortitude save from that bite.
19.
Okay. So you're good. And then it'll spend its last action trying to bite Kira. And 2. So that's miss. Yes, thank you for keeping me honest, even when it's to your detriment. I appreciate that. And we now have the first time somebody has gone to the dying condition. So we'll talk about that for a moment. So when something knocks somebody else down to 0 hit points, you go to a condition called dying. And when you're hit by a normal hit, you go to dying 1. But if it's a critical hit, which in this case it was, you'll go straight to dying 2. Basically, there's a track you follow, and you want to get back to dying 0 and just stable and unconscious. But if you go to dying 4, you will die outright. So there are some ways to stop that from happening. You can be healed by your allies. You can make your dying saves, because basically you make a flat check equal to 10 plus the dying value. So for Valoros, it'll be 12. As long as you can roll a 12 or higher on the die, you'll go back towards dying 0, and if not, you'll go towards 3 and 4, and hopefully not to 4. But there is one way to make sure that you are safe from dying, and that is by cashing in all the hero points that you've accrued throughout the session to save yourself in a heroic recovery. So the hero points can be used to re-roll a d20 roll, or cash in all of